Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make are probably the easiest chocolate chip cookies, well, that I think I've ever made. And what we're going to make them out of is actually a baking mix. And they're sold in the grocery stores and that type of thing. The mix has everything in it, and it's really easy to prepare. So let's get started. We're going to start off with butter, and we need a half a cup of butter, and I've cut it up into small pieces. So I'm going to just put that into my mixing bowl, and we're going to break that up and cream it. Now you can use your hand mixer if you prefer, instead of using the stand as I am. Now once you do that, you're going to need brown sugar. So you're going to need 1 cup of brown sugar, and I'm going to put that in the butter and cream it together. You want it to be relatively very smooth when they're combined. We're also going to be putting in 1 teaspoon of vanilla and blend that in. The next thing you're going to put in is 1 egg, and I've had it at room temperature, so we'll beat that in. You can see how quickly this is just coming together. I raise my speed a little bit. Okay, and everything looks really quite nice and smooth. So we'll move on here. All right, and this is the next thing that we're going to put in, and this is your 2 cups of your baking mix. Now, if you don't have baking mix, at home for this recipe, I have a recipe video that you can make it yourself for really pennies, so it's a lot cheaper than buying the box. So if you want to try these cookies and you don't have a box of this baking mix, check out my video. It'll give you step-by-step how to make it for yourself, and it's very inexpensive. So I'm just going to start putting in that baking mix and start beating that in. Now when you're bringing it together, it's going to look like it's too dry or too crumbly, but don't worry, it will come together into a cookie ball, or cookie dough I should say. And then just put a little at a time. Here's the rest of it, and then let it beat till it starts to form a cookie dough, a cookie ball. I'm going to raise my speed, and I'll show you what it looks like so far. You can see it's quite nice and light. Whoops. Okay. And now, of course, we're going to put the chocolate chips in. Now, what I'm going to do is a little bit different. I'm going to put a half a cup of actually the chocolate. You can use dark chocolate, milk chocolate, whatever you want. And then I'm going to put also a half a cup of butterscotch. And then I'm just going to blend those together. And I usually don't like to beat them too long because I don't want to break up the morsels, but I like them evenly distributed, so I let the mixer run and mix it, blend them up. Okay, take that off, excess off my paddle, and then I'm just going to clean the sides, make sure that the bottom, everything is combined, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. And there we go. See how it's so pretty because it's got the chocolate morsels in it and the butterscotch. Has a great smell to it. And then you're going to need a cookie pan or cookie tray. You don't have to spray it or anything like that. If you prefer to use your parchment paper, feel free. I'm going to use a small scoop. And then you do want to place them at least a couple inches apart because they are going to spread on you. And then you're going to bake them at 350 degrees and they can take you anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes to come up. So do start checking. I like to start checking mine even about 7 minutes or so. Now you're going to get, I got 2 dozens. I got 24 cookies out of this this recipe. When they do come out of the oven though, let them sit on a cooling rack for just a few minutes and then remove the cookies with a spatula to the cooling rack, because they have a tendency, you know, to break up if you take them off when they're hot. So let me rinse my hands real quick, and then I'd like to show you what they look like once they are baked up. And this is what they will look like. Now this particular batch was made with all just chocolate chips, and the one that you just saw me put together, I did a mix of half butterscotch and half chocolate chips. So they bake up just beautiful. I'm going to show you one. They have a nice light golden brown on the bottom, and then the traditional a nice crispy crunchy top, and then when you break them open they have that chewy center in them. So they're not a real what should I say, dry cookie inside. They have that nice crispness to them, but then they have that great chewy texture to them when you bite into them. Well, there you have it, a really easy chocolate chip recipe. Use whatever kind of morsels you want. You could even put in nuts if you prefer. Some chopped nuts, maybe anywhere from a 1/4 cup or to even a 1/2 cup of nuts. That'll be up to you. And if you try this recipe and you like it, well, I'd like to hear from you. Leave a comment. As always, thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon.